Hey, what's up? It's your new bestie, Katie, talking to you about Web3 and NFTs, some crypto. This is for beginners. So, if you are brand new to this whole concept, I am going to go through a series of videos to help you get through and understand NFTs, how to make one, what is the hype about NFTs, blockchain, smart contracts, a whole bunch of stuff in this series. And if you got recommended by somebody to say, hey, just go ahead and watch her videos and then talk to me afterwards, welcome. And I just want to say I'm here to help you. Learn about NFTs, smart contracts, all these things that you might not have heard of just getting into this. This is a beginner's video. This is all free. I just want to do this because I personally trying to get into the NFT world, learning stuff, not knowing certain words, certain kind of language, understanding how to launch a project, how to understand crypto, smart contracts, blockchain, all that stuff. I really just wanted to start from the beginning and be able to help somebody else out and not have to go through what I had to go through. So, this is series number one, learning about NFTs. What is an NFT? NFT is a non fungible token. So, again, what is that? So when you have something that is fungible, a dollar can be exchanged for a dollar. It has the same value. Something that is non-fungible is unique in itself. There is nothing else that is the same to that one particular thing. So NFTs, non-fungible tokens, are unique in themselves. Now we're going to go into a series of understanding, hopefully a visual that will make sense to you just a little bit regarding non-fungible. Ready? So we're going to just substitute the word NFT with the word spoon, okay? You walk into an antique shop and you see a table with spoons. And some of these spoons look alike. Even the most expensive spoon and the cheapest spoon have totally different price ranges, but they look exactly the same. And these are the NFTs. But with each spoon comes a history, and you get to see this history. Now you pick up the cheapest spoon, and you can see the history behind the spoon, this receipt that says that it was just made and it came right to the antique shop. So there wasn't much history with the cheapest spoon. Then you go to the most expensive spoon that looks familiar to the cheapest spoon, and you look at the receipt and you see a long history, or you see a history where somebody famous once owned this spoon. And also it comes with a free meal down the street if you bring the spoon to this restaurant. Now in the NFT world, this is called utility, that you can actually take something inside of an NFT and possibly use it for something physical in the real world. And with that comes a higher price tag, or with the fact that it had a history of that you can see. You'll literally be able to see the whole history of your spoon, aka NFT, from start to where it is now. And that really changes the price difference on an NFT. You'll notice in my videos that when I start talking about something, I need to break it down. Because I know that if you're a beginner, you don't know what I'm talking about when I'm talking about receipts, history. That's called the blockchain, and we're going to get into that. Also, I just talked about a utility, that free meal that came with that NFT, aka spoon. We're going to get into that as well. With that being said, before we get into all the other stuff, we have to get to the foundation of what an NFT is. And we will start with utility that I just spoke about that you can add. So any NFT that you create can have a utility, whether you want it to be something in the physical world, whether you want it to be a game inside of a game. The possibilities actually are pretty endless on what you want to attach. Maybe it's access to an event, which then changes the price of an NFT by what you actually add to that actual NFT. Let's get into blockchain now. So we'll get into utilities even more in depth later. but let's get into the blockchain. Now, let's talk blockchain. So the blockchain itself, say the first initial block of a blockchain, has 3 components. Well, actually the first one only has 2, which is data and a hash. Anything after that that is connected has data, hash, and the hash from the previous block. Now I'm going to tell you this story to understand a little bit of the blockchain. I'm going to tell this story like as if I'm such a visual learner. I wish I had an artist who made this actual video, but and did a cartoon with it. But I want you to imagine the blockchain as this. So the blockchain has, picture a train with just the engine on it, just the very beginning. On the side of that train, it is labeled block. Inside that block is a conductor called hash. So hash is in there just going down the track, whichever crypto. The track itself is going to be some sort of crypto. It's going down there. And somebody wants to add something to that train, you know, put some cargo on there. That will be a second block. Now, when they add that second block, what is happening is that it's now creating a blockchain. And when that happens, hash actually, you know, our conductor, he multiplies and gets put into the second block. He stays in the first one, but he multiplies to the second one, but he changes a little bit. Maybe it's just his appearance, whatever it is. He's changed. He's changed a little bit. But he still holds on to the data from the first part, the engine. So he still has that, but now he has all the new data on the second block. And that keeps on continuing. And he keeps on multiplying. He keeps on holding on to the data all the way from the beginning. But in each individual block, hash has changed himself. Now each hash in every block is holding on to the data. It's always a little bit different as each one of the blocks are added to the train. So I always think block train, blockchain, okay? Now say somebody's trying to hijack that train, and we'll call him a robber, tamperer, scammer, whatever, trying to get in there, jumps on somewhere on that train, and he's trying to change something. Oh, shit, because hash is not having it. So what hash does is immediately sends out a signal to nodes, aka miners, right away whenever there's a change. Just in general, he can't just change on his own. He needs nodes to do this. He sends out an army the minute something is always changing, just to send verification. And his army is big. He gets sent out to hundreds to thousands of his army when there is just one thing changed on it. So some robber comes in, jumps on this train chain, and tries to tamper with something. In order for this robber to actually change anything, they have to change everything from where they jumped on that train to everything after that. That chain can be super long, and it's a very complex thing to be able to do. It's almost like switching and changing your DNA. In the middle of your DNA, you would have to switch, and you would have to know every little step, every little block in your DNA, just in order for it to change. That is a very, very complex thing to do. Almost impossible in every single way. So when hash sends out this signal to these nodes and sees that there's a change trying to be made and it's not adding up, it'll immediately be rejected. And the robber is jumped off the train. He fell hard. As soon as he got in, he pretty much was gone. So by the time that the robber even has a chance, or she, is just pretty much gone, okay? And this particular process is called proof of work. And these nodes are actually what you might have heard, maybe the word crypto miners. Crypto miners are actually huge computers, very complex computers that have to go in and try to figure out the algorithm. Every time there's a change on the blockchain, there's a huge equation behind it. And it gets sent out across globally. No one knows each other. It's all these computers just randomly everywhere. And each one of these computers are actually competing for that little bit of change and being able to connect everything from the very beginning, from the engine of the train to where it is now. Now, say with that robber trying to change something right in the middle of that or anywhere in that process, that robber needed to be able to change every little step behind that. The odds of that happening within the amount of time that they get kicked out, no. These computers, anyways, with the miners, these computers are competing to make sure that if the information is correct, that they get rewarded for adding that extra piece of data. Or if something is incorrect and it goes out to hundreds of computers, thousands of computers, whatever, and it verifies that this information is not adding up, it's not correct, it will immediately be rejected. But if it's new data that actually is something that's going to be added to the blockchain or to hashes train and create a new hash, they get rewarded with that, with whatever cryptocurrency that particular data is being put on. So another word for nodes is miners. Not every node is miners, but every miner is a node. So I just want to add that in there so that you know that information. So this video is for beginners. I hope that kind of explains a little bit of the blockchain. But now I want to get back to just what we were talking about earlier, which was the actual spoon that we saw inside the antique shop. And remember that receipt? That receipt is the blockchain. That's how important that receipt is that always comes with it. It's on a thing, on the internet, something you could see. It doesn't matter who you are. You could be able to always verify this information. This blockchain is on a distributed ledger, which is a public ledger that shows you all the information regarding an NFT. You're going to hear this word a lot, and Web3 space is decentralized. Decentralized means that not one person, individual, group actually owns something. The Web3 space is amazing because a lot of times, right now we're in Web2, where everything, big companies own things, big companies censor things, big companies profit off of you for selling your information, doing things like that. Web3 is a decentralized, where these companies don't own it. They don't own your information, they don't own this, they don't own that. So if you were to make money or to sell something that they have been selling, say your personal information, you wanted to sell something, then you would profit from that. You would make the money for it. Hey guys, if you like my videos, make sure you like and subscribe so that YouTube knows that these are actually educational videos and that other people should enjoy watching them.